Are we ready for another new in beauty? I think we are. These space buns say we are. I thought I would try something different today because I want to do a really creative, fun look today. Nothing too serious. The whole point of this series is to play with a new product, have fun with it, just test everything out. I was like, you know what? The looks don't have to be technically wearable. It can be whatever I want them to be because all we're doing is trying new stuff and seeing if it's good or not. So I've got some really exciting, cool products, some glitter, a Suede eyeshadow. Let's get right into it. I'm gonna start by prepping my skin. Too Faced recently launched they expanded their Hangover RX collection. So they already had the Hangover RX Replenishing Face Primer with coconut water. Coconut water? Yes, coconut water, probiotic-based ingredients. Love this primer. It's a really great hydrating primer. They since launched the Hydrating Serum, which contains my favorite hydrating skin ingredient, hyaluronic acid. And they also launched the Skin Protecting SPF 25 Moisturizer. So first I'm going to go in with the serum. I hope it doesn't have a fragrance. Kind of. I can't use a lot of the Too Faced like peaches and cream stuff and the Tutti Frutti. It's too tutti frutti for me. But the coconut one I don't mind. It's a little more subtle than the others. It doesn't smell fruity or like flowers, you know what I'm saying? So this serum feels really nice. Feels like a hyaluronic serum. Very nice and hydrating. And then because this new Skin Protecting SPF Moisturizer I think is just meant to be a moisturizer, I'm going to mix it with the Hangover RX primer. So I'm going to get SPF and priming together. The moisturizer is a little thicker than the primer. I spoke too soon and started blending it on my hands, so I'll show you guys separately in just a second after I apply this. But it's nice and lightweight, look at that. It doesn't look heavy. It's not a heavy moisturizer whatsoever. I feel like if you're oily or dry, you could use this because it's got a really nice texture. And there we go. I have a nice subtly dewy finish to my skin. It feels nice and hydrated, perfect for makeup, has that nice slip to it. You can't really tell on camera, but the primer is definitely a little lighter and more watery. See that when you spread it out? Moisturizer, primer. Do you need both? I think that's really up to you. I personally don't tend to rely on primers. I rely on moisturizers. I'm also gonna pop on this new BIOSSANCE Rose Vegan Lip Balm. I'm assuming it doesn't contain lanolin because lanolin is a sheep derivative. It's a ingredient that comes from sheep pus secreted from their, I guess, pores, I don't know, to keep their wool hydrated. I like to avoid lanolin because I have heard that it's one of those ingredients that your skin tends to get addicted to, and the more I use lanolin-based lip products, the drier my lips feel. So I like to go for a rose-based, like a rose wax-based lip balm, which is what this is. So I'm gonna go ahead and pop this on to hydrate the lips while I do this makeup. I am not gonna be using a foundation today because I want the freedom to play with a lot of cream products, and I don't want to do like the whole like foundation, concealer, powder. I don't want to do all that because it can be a lot and then you're kind of like stuck with what you've got versus being able to further blend out the cream products. So instead, I'm going to do a trick that I have been loving lately. I've been doing it a lot on my Instagram stories. A lot of you guys have noticed. You guys are like, what is on your face? It doesn't look like you're wearing anything, but you look like you have something on. It's been this Estee Lauder Double Wear Radiant Concealer. I'm actually working on a project with them, so I got to use this before anyone else, and I'm super excited about it because it is an amazing... Okay, wow, almost died there on camera. You know when your throat just gets really itchy? Anyway, this technique that I've been doing with this concealer is amazing, and I can't wait to share more of this concealer with you guys. So I use 2 different shades down the center of the face to just cover up what's needed and let the rest of my skin breathe. I'm going to be using shade 2W Light Medium Warm down the center of the face. So I'm going to take this product. It's really creamy. It's one of those products when people say a little goes a long way. This is one of those products. So I start by applying it right here, especially around the nose where I get the redness. Right here also, I get a little discoloration right here. And maybe like a little bit right here because I have some blemishes or some post-acne marks. I'm gonna take a Kabuki brush and just blend it out. It's got a really nice coverage, but it's still creamy and blendable. And then if I see some more blemishes, like right here. So this concealer is my best match in terms of overall color. And then the other shade that I'm going to be using is shade 2N Light Medium Neutral, which is a little lighter, and it's going to serve as a highlight down the center of the face. But first, we're just going to even everything out. I want the skin to breathe. I want the skin to look fresh with this look that I'm doing. I'm going, again, for more of like an editorial look. So you can also brush this a little bit onto the lids, but I am going to be using a cream eyeshadow, so I don't want any heavy product like concealer on the eyelids. But if you have a little discoloration, you can apply a little. Just don't pack it on, because it'll change the color of the cream eyeshadow. Take whatever is left over on the brush and stipple it onto the rest of the face, just so you have like a nice even finish. But you could get away with just doing this and running out the door. It looks so good. So once I've done that color, I'm taking the lighter shade. It's just a smidge lighter, and I'm only gonna pop that onto, what was I gonna say? Onto the under eyes and right here. We can add more concealer later, but for now we're starting off really light, and then we'll add more if we need to. And then for the center, I like to use the OFRA sponge and just blend it out. Now you can see it up close. Look at how good this concealer looks, you guys. It looks airbrushed, but back to the eyes. I feel like a lot of you guys are really familiar with these STILA liquid eyeshadows. I honestly feel like they started the whole trend with these liquid eyeshadows. The original ones were glittery, shimmery, metallic. They just launched these suede shade liquid eyeshadows. So they look like suede, they're more so matte, and the colors are pretty cool. I'm gonna be using the color, oh my god, I'm dropping everything, Sassy. You'll see why I didn't want to use any concealer or foundation on the eyelid, because I feel like this product, once it starts to blend with concealer or foundation, it'll just look like mush on your eyelid, and you want to get the true color. So I'm just gonna apply it directly to the eyelid. Look at that. You could almost use this as a primer. They do have a nudie colored one. This is the shade Nude Awakening. So you could use it as a primer, but let's see how they work. I've only really tested it as a swatch on my arms, so we'll see how it performs on the actual eyes. So I just did a really nice even layer on the lid, and then I'm going to blend out the outer edges with a synthetic brush. This is an LH304 brush, my absolute favorite. I want there to be like that full, well, I guess it's separating a little bit, so maybe I'll just take it like this and feather it on, so there's like a nice thin layer. It's not cakey or building up, just like that. This product does remind me of this old Laura Mercier eyeshadow primer I used to use all the time. Kind of like if you were to turn the MAC paint pots into a liquid eyeshadow. That's what it reminds me of. So once it dries down, it doesn't look like the smoothest. It honestly kind of looks a little meh compared to this. It's one of those products that I think is cool in theory, like, ooh, a suede eyeshadow, a liquid suede eyeshadow. But then once you actually use it, it doesn't look as good as it does as a swatch. I mean, I like the color. I just think it looks a little too textured for my liking. Another new product, Strawberry Shake eyeshadow palette from ColourPop. They've been doing this series of color eyeshadow palettes, blue, orange, red, now pink. And I'm going to be creating a very avant-garde pink look. Think Rihanna Met Gala. I think I've done a look like that on my channel, but we're going to go for it. This shade down here. And add it to the outer portion of the eye. I love ColourPop eyeshadows. I love ColourPop products for the most part. I just think that the price point is so good and the quality is amazing that you really can't beat it. I definitely think there are certain products you should splurge on, like foundation, powder, essentially face products, but things like eyeshadow, if the quality is good and it's affordable, you should go for it. You don't need an expensive ass eyeshadow when something like ColourPop is so good. And I'm also going to take this color Whipped and just apply it right here where the suede eyeshadow meets the powder eyeshadow. Okay, I'm being really indecisive. I decided to go back to the face. I'm going to go in pretty hard with blush, a cream blush. I have tried these in the past, the ColourPop blush, what are they called? Blush sticks and light sticks. The problem I had with the prepackaged ones that come in a 3-pack is that the actual names of the colors weren't on the individual shades. So I mixed them all together and now I don't know what's what. So when one of you guys messages me saying that you love the color, what is it? I'm like, I actually don't know which one it is because they didn't have the names, but the new ones do. So this is the shade 25-8. Which is what I'm going to use as my blush, and then the highlight is Bullseye. So what I'm going to do is that same Kabuki brush, I'm going to have it on hand, and I'm going to start applying this pretty heavy. Again, we're thinking Rihanna, Met Gala. We're even gonna take it like up to here. Like blend it into the eyeshadow, if you will. I'm getting all sorts of Euphoria vibes right now. I just started watching the show. Kind of obsessed. Kyle, not so much. But Kyle's a screenwriter, so he judges shows a lot harder than I do. I really like it. I think it's a really fun show to watch, but if you don't like the storyline or like how aggressive it is, just watch it for the cinematography. It's so beautifully shot. I mean, every scene I'm like, oh, this is amazing. This is why I held off on doing the brows, because I feel like I'm gonna get highlighter or blush in my brows with all this blending. So I'm almost kind of like blending away that point that I did with the eyeshadow because I'm blending it into the blush. You can also just pick the blush up directly onto the brush like this and then pat it on for a little more color. I went a little low right here, so I'm going to take that same concealer in the darker shade 2W Light Medium and just clean up right here so that I don't have like the blush dragging down my face, you know? And I'm going to use a clean brush to blend this out so I don't mix that blush further into the skin down here. Ta-da! You can also go back in, just keep refining it until you get the look that you want. They're really easy to work with and so pretty. And there's so many colors. They come in, like I said, in those 3 packs with the highlighter and 2 blushes. This is a part of the strawberry collection. So good. Now I'm going to go in with the highlighter, and I'm going to grab another clean Kabuki brush for this, a smaller one. I'm just going to pick the highlighter up directly onto the Kabuki brush and then start highlighting. And I'm going to bring this onto the brow bone as well. And up here, again, this is why I skipped brows, because I knew I was going to get product in my brows. And the best part is that I didn't use any powder, so everything is just blending out like a dream. The concealer is blending out nicely. I haven't set it at all, and it still looks so fresh. And I don't look overly oily. I feel like sometimes some of my foundations on camera can make me look super oily. I know that. In person, it looks normal, I promise you. It's just that on camera, it obviously picks up a lot more shiny than it does in person because of the lights. These are so nice, guys. Honestly, like, worth picking up. I'm assuming they're like under 10 bucks. They gotta be. Should we Google it? Let's Google it. I just looked it up, and the first thing that showed up is a pregnancy test called Stix. Not what I'm looking for. These retail for $8, and then if you want the duo, it's $15, and then the 3-pack is $22. Come on, guys. So good. Like, look at the variety of colors that they have. Look at that. Look. There's so many options for you to choose from. Okay. I don't know what it is. I've been loving glitter lately. I haven't used it on my channel. Like, I haven't done any tutorials with glitter, but I've been obsessed with all the glitter I've been getting. Especially chunky glitter. Like the one that looks like mermaid scales, fish scales. Like this one from Play. So this is Play by Glossier. And the color is Firewalk Glitter Jelly. And the way I like to apply this is with a synthetic brush. One that is fluffy so that it doesn't just like pile it on and then further ruin your eyeshadow. I'm gonna dip straight into the glitter jelly, kind of dog fur, work it into my skin before it hits the eye so that way it doesn't just go on like as a blob like it did on my hand right there. And I'm gonna put it on right here. So on this outer edge like that. Look at that. Oh, so cool. And it'll also look really cool just to apply a little right here over the highlight we just applied. It is red, so you don't want to go in too heavy because when the shadow or when the light catches it from certain angles, it can look like a dark spot on your face. So don't go in too heavy on the highlight, but definitely right here on the eyeshadow, you can go in a little heavy and then dab whatever's left over right here. It's just like the coolest little eyeshadow pot. It's sophisticated, it's classy. Yes. I love the way this is looking. I'm going to blend out my shadow out here a little bit into that blush because I feel like once I did that, it started to look a little choppy. Moving on to the brows, I haven't tried these Urban Decay brow products and they came out a long time ago. I think I tried, like maybe played with it very, very lightly. The one that's like a pen. I'm blinking, you guys. It's so hot today. I've been sitting here for too long. But none of the colors really matched me, and I just felt like, for me, I just don't really need it. But then I realized that this product is what I had been eating in my life. So this is a dual-ended eyebrow product, primer and color. The primer is going to add thickness to your brows and fullness. I guess that's the same thing. And then the color is going to add color. So if you have sparse brows, it's a great product. Even on my brows, I think it looks great. So what I do is I very lightly enhance the arch. So I'm just going in with my typical DIOR brow styler. So I'm only going to enhance right here because even when I use a brow gel, I still feel like the end needs a little help. All right, so with this product, you go with the primer first, and I've learned to go in really lightly with it. However, look at how micro this brush is. It's amazing. So don't press hard out. I'll just very lightly sweep it onto the brow hairs, especially the ends, or wherever you have sparseness. Is that a word? Sparseness. And then immediately after, you can go in with the color. And it gives you the fullest brows. I'm using the shade Brunette Betty. I never use a brow product that's too dark or like black because it can make my brows look real scary. I like to go for something that's like a dark brown or like an ashy brown, so it still looks natural. I think whatever kind of brow it is that you have, you will find something for you in that brow collection from Urban Decay. Even something like the clear brow gel is something that I would use daily. I cannot live without my clear brow gels. I always have a clear brow gel in my brows because my brows are wild, you guys. They end up all over the place. So there's something for everyone in that collection. Okay, mascara. I think that's all I'm going to do. I don't even think I'm going to add bronzer. I think I'm going to keep it as is. I'm going to use this new Pat McGrath Fetish Eyes mascara. I love everything from Pat. Honestly, everything that she has come out with has been amazing. But then again, she is the mother, the queen artiste. Like, her artistry is something that I very highly admire, and I love her. This is almost like an ode to Pat McGrath. I mean, hopefully, I don't know. It's looking a little choppy on the sides. Maybe she wouldn't like it, but she's just incredible, and all of her products have been incredible. Also, the foundation, I was going to use it today, but I decided to just go in with the concealer. So I feel like this mascara is going to be good. I do like the brush. I like fluffy brushes, not plastic brushes. And it's nice and narrow. It's not too wide. Sometimes I think that the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara brush is a little too big for me. Especially the new one that they just came out with. Like, I like it. I like the mascara formula itself, but sometimes the brush can be a little messy, especially if you have smaller eyes or smaller lashes. It can get kind of messy, but I do like that fluffier type of mascara applicator. Here's a before and after of the mascara. I definitely like the formula. It's very comparable. I always name my 5 staples. It Cosmetics, Superhero, Better Than Sex, Marc Jacobs Velvet Noir, Monsieur Big. What's my other one? I'm blanking right now. But it's a very similar formula. Very thickening, volumizing, lengthening, but not clumpy or dry. It's a good one. I'm going to go in with a little more of the Estee Lauder concealer in shade 2N, the one that I used to highlight, just to clean up underneath the eyes after all that blending. So I'm only going to dot like there and there. I think this is like a true testament to this concealer that it just looks good without any powder whatsoever. And you can keep building on top of it, and it doesn't get cakey or start to look weird. You know when you start to build foundations or concealers later on after it's been sitting for a while and it looks weird? This one, you can easily build on top of it if you haven't added powder, and it still looks good. See? Just a little brighter. And for the lip, I just want to use this Glossier holographic lip gloss. Whenever I do a look this dramatic, all I want to wear is a lip gloss, and usually it's Fenty Gloss Bomb, but we're going to expand our horizons, try this one out. It's got a really nice pink reflect, which goes with the eye look. I also got this collection from Marc Jacobs that I'm not going to lie, I'm not a huge fan of, and I love Marc Jacobs Beauty. But they launched, let me show you guys. Launched this highlighter as well as metallic or glittery lip glosses and sequin eyeshadows. I love the sequin eyeshadows. That's one of my favorite formulas for like the single pot glittery eyeshadows. But this I'm not too huge of a fan of. It's a highlighter that reflects pink. Oh, barely even swatched on my arm. Can you guys see that? Kind of like a raspberry toned highlighter, and then the glosses are like this, are like super glittery. And whenever I get these, I usually only keep ones that are like a natural lip color or gold, because those are the only pretty ones, I think. I'm gonna pop a little bit of this one on the center of my lips, just because it goes with the look. But see what I mean? Oh, actually, that looks really pretty. But like all over your lips, I feel like it would look too frosted, you know? But for this look, it goes. All right, that is it, guys. That is it for this look. The shadow got a little choppy on the ends because I went ham with the cream blush. But overall, I like the way this turned out. I think the highlights for today are definitely these highlight and blush sticks from ColourPop. I think that they are very affordable and obviously a really great quality, high color payoff. They retail for $8 individually. What else did I really like? The concealer, I mean, this kind of speaks for itself. I barely use any powder. You guys know I always have to powder my under eyes, and it's barely creasing. And all I did was blend the shade 2W all over, starting with the center of the face, and then 2N to highlight. So the concealer is amazing, very blendable, buildable. The Pat McGrath mascara was amazing. I think the only thing that was a total pass for me are the STILA Suede eyeshadows. I wanted to like this product because it's a cool concept. It's swatched really nicely, but on the eyes, I just don't think it will last really long. I also don't think it's very user-friendly. I feel like a lot of people will get really frustrated with that product. But everything else, I think, is nice. I mean, I barely used... Oh, what is crumbling? Okay, so something didn't blend well because I just did this and something is pilling. Do you guys see that? I don't know if the camera's catching it. But clearly, maybe the skincare I had on before I applied the Too Faced stuff because I didn't cleanse my skin before. Something is pilling, not sure what it is. It's probably whatever neck cream I applied, not blending with one of these products. I'm assuming, I don't know why, but it's usually the serum that's the culprit. But it's probably because the base of these products is different from whatever I used on my neck. Because everywhere else it seems to be fine. But yeah, that concludes today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed this look, the space buns, the dramatic effect of the blush and this eyeshadow. I'm going to leave the video here. If you guys enjoyed it, make sure to give it a like, share it, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, guys. Mwah.